Hi, this is Dr. Danny again. So we are now into term 3, week 8. Okay, today's topic is on adding and subtracting fractions. And these are for primary 3 students. Okay, so if you have not gotten the books ready, there are 2 booklets, right? You may get them ready now. Okay, if you don't have them, that's fine. Okay, all you need is foolscap paper. I will take you through the lessons, and the questions will be shown on screen as well, so you can work along with me even if you don't have the booklet. Okay, are you ready? All right, so please get ready your stationery, get ready your items, writing materials. We will start in a very short while. Okay, so for today, we're going to talk about adding and subtracting fractions. And I will start off the first part of today's session on adding fractions first. Okay, so let's take a look at the question that you have on that first page. Okay, now let's get a question. Alan ate 1/3 of a pie. Ben ate 1/6 of the same pie. Now notice that when I say 1/3, right, it is actually the same meaning as 1 out of 3. And I usually like to say 1 out of 3 instead of 1/3, because 1 out of 3, right, would show that it is Adam is eating, sorry, not Adam, but Alan is eating 1. Can you see 1 here? 1 part out of 3 parts of a pie. And that's why it's called 1/3, right? 1 out of 3. Okay, so Alan ate 1 out of 3 of a pie. Ben ate 1 out of 6 of a pie, right? Of the same pie. What fraction of the pie did Alan and Ben eat all together? Write the number in its simplest form. So the part that I'd like you to underline is what fraction of the pie did Alan and Ben eat all together? Notice the word all together. All right, so how do you solve this question? Is it plus? Is it minus? Is it multiplication? Or is it division? Now you see all together, right? And what fraction of pie did Alan and Ben eat all together? It is an addition question, right? What do you add? You are adding 1/3 of a pie, right, to 1/6 of the pie. And that's what you need to find out. Now, you would notice that the denominators are different in this case. One is based on 3 parts, and the other one is based on 6 parts. So how do you add fractions of different denominators together? Well, the way to do it is to make sure that, or the easier way to do it, right, is to make sure that they have the same number of denominator, the same number of parts. Then it'd be easier for you to do this. Now, how do you do a question like this? So let's take a look at the pie now. Okay, let's take a look at this pie here. All right, so 1/3 of a pie is really indicated for you here, and then 1/6 is indicated here. Now, you want to find out, right, 1/3, right? If I were to instead cut it up into 6 parts, right, that will be how many parts out of how many parts? So let's try cutting 3 parts, right? We split it into 6 parts equally. Can you see that 1/3 of a pie is actually the same as 2 out of 6? 1, 2, right? Because from 3 parts, you have cut it up into 6 parts. And so the 1 pie that you have there just now, 1 out of 3, you cut it up, right? You split it into 2. Now you have 2 parts. So what that means is 1/3 is the same as 2 out of 3. Do you see that? 1, 2, 2 out of, sorry, not 2 out of 3. Forgive me, right? 2 out of 6. 1/3 is the same as 2 out of 6. So 1, 2, 2 parts. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 parts. So 1/3 is the same as 2 out of 6 plus 1/6. What's the answer? 1, 2, 3, right? 2 plus 1 equals 3. So it's 3 out of 6 parts. Now, let's not forget that the question requires you to answer in its simplest form. So you need to simplify. Can you simplify 3 out of 6? Yes, right? You can divide by the same number. So which number would that be? 3 divided by 3 will give you 1. So if you divide the numerator by 3, you divide the denominator by 3 as well. So 6 divided by 3 equals to 2. So therefore, all right, 2 out of 6 plus 1 out of 6 gives you 3 out of 6, which is the same as 1 out of 2, and that's half a pi, right? So what it means, 1/3 plus 1/6 equals half. Now, if you look at the pictures, right, does it make sense? Here you go. This is the 1/3, and you cut it into 2 parts. It's 2 out of 6 plus 1 out of 6 here, right? You put them together, you get 1, 2, 3, 3 out of 6, which is the same as half of a pi. Got that? All right. If you are not sure, right, you can actually pause, just go back maybe 1 or 2 minutes, right, and listen to this again. But if you are clear, let's get ready for the next set of questions. Okay, so turn to page 2. We are going to do the guided practice together, the first question together. Let's look at the question. Add 1/2 or 1 out of 2 and 1 out of 4. Okay, so what you do is 1/2 is the same as, right? If you try to split up into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, the shaded part, the colored part is 2 out of 4. So 1/2 is the same as 2 out of 4. Now, if you don't have circles to help you, how do you know that 1/2 is 2 out of 4? Remember that we mentioned just now, right? In order to add fractions together, it's recommended that they have the same denominator. So in this case, right, you have 2 and 4, right? You choose 4 as a common denominator. Always choose the largest number. All right, because it's easier for the smaller number to become the larger number, right? For the larger number to become smaller number, it is a bit tricky, right? Not that it's not possible. All right, it becomes very difficult, especially when you have to reduce the numerator to a smaller number as well. So the recommended way is to convert the smaller denominator into the larger denominator. So you have 2 and 4. How does 2 become 4? 2 times 2. So if you multiply the denominator by 2, you multiply the numerator by 2 as well, right? So 1 times 2 equals 2. Therefore, 2 out of 4. What is 2 out of 4 plus 1 out of 4? 2 plus 1 equals to 3 out of 4. So that means 3 out of 4 parts. 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 4 parts. Is this the simplest form? Can you simplify it? Can you simplify 3 out of 4 into a simpler fraction? No, you can't, right? Because it cannot be divided by the same number. All right, let's move on to the next question. And I would like you to do these questions on your own. All right, so please do B and C. Okay, you may pause the video now. Okay, once you're done, play the video again and I will show you the answer. Okay, let's see whether you've gotten the answer correct. Okay, so I'm going to do this very quickly. I have 1 out of 5. I need to convert it into the same denominator, right, which is 10, right, the larger one. So 5 times 2. 1 times 2. That's 2 out of 10, right? So that's 2 out of 10 plus 3 out of 10 equals 5 out of 10. Can I simplify 5 out of 10? Yes, I can, right? I divide the numerator by 5. I divide the denominator by 5. And that will give me 1 out of 2. Did you get the right answer? Let's try the next one. All right, I'll show you the answer. So same thing, we want to let them have the same denominator. So 12 being the larger one, 12 will be the common denominator. Okay, what is 1 out of 6 equivalent to, right, with a denominator of 12? So 6 times 2 becomes 12. So numerator will be times 2 again. Right, so you get 2 out of 12. 7 out of 12 plus 2 out of 12 equals 9 out of 12. 9 out of 12 parts. Can you simplify? Yes, you can. Okay, so you divide it by a common factor, which is 3. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. And the answer is 3/4. Okay, all right. Hope you've gotten the answers correct. Right? If not, you might want to review the steps again. And then before we move on to the next set of questions. Okay, now we're going to do something very simple. Now, if you look at the question here, okay, let's look at question G. Right, question G. What is 4 out of 9 plus 2 out of 9? Notice that they have the same denominator. So in other words, you don't need to convert, right? It's a simpler fact of 4 plus 2. So 4 plus 2 equals 6 out of 9. Now remember that we always have to simplify it. Is 6 out of 9 the simplest form? No, it is not, right? So how do we find out the simplest form? We have to divide it, the denominator and the numerator, by the same number. In this case, right, it seems that the common number that we can divide 6 and 9 by is 3. So 6 divided by 3 equals 2. And 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So the answer is 2 out of 3. Easy? All right. I would like you to do K and L. Please pause the video now, and I'll show you the answer in a bit. Okay, let's see whether you're correct. So same denominator, we just add the numerator together. 5 plus 3 equals 8. So the answer is 8 out of 12 parts. Is it in its simplest form? No, it isn't. So we can simplify that. 8 divided by 4. Right? And 12 divided by 4. So 8 divided by 4 equals to 2. 12 divided by 4 equals to 3. The answer is 2/3. Let's try L. Same denominator again. So we will just add the numerator. 3 plus 7 equals 10. Oh, and we have 10 out of 10. Is that the simplest form? What is 10 out of 10? 10 out of 10 is actually 1 whole. Okay, so that's the simplest form. Hope you've gotten the answers correct. All right, if not, review the steps again. And we're going to move on to the next question. Okay, we're going to do more practices. Let's turn to page 12. Okay, I will show you how to do 3A, and you will do 3B on your own. Okay, let's try. Let's start now. So you look at two fractions here, 3/4 plus 1 out of 8. And I would like to add them by using the same denominator. So in this case, 8 seems to be the common denominator that I would like to convert the fractions into, right? Because 8 is the larger number compared to 4, or the larger number of parts compared to 4. All right. So 3 out of 4 is the same as, let's see, 4 times 2 equals 8. So 3 times 2 equals 6. So 3/4 is the same as 6 out of 8. 6 out of 8 plus 1 out of 8 equals 2. 7 out of 8. Can 7 out of 8 be simplified? No, it cannot, right? So that's the answer. Okay, now I will leave question B to you. All right, you might want to press pause now. After you completed the answer, you may press play again to find out if your answer is correct. Okay, so what we want to do now is to add by converting the fraction, right, to the same common denominator. So 9 is the bigger part, so we will keep 9 and we'll convert 1/3, right, into denominator of 9. So 1/3 is the same as, let's see, 3 times 3 equals 9. 1 times 3 equals 3. So 1/3 is the same as 3 out of 9. And we've done that in equivalent fractions as well, correct? So let's add them together. 5 out of 9 plus 3 out of 9 equals to 8 out of 9. Is this fraction in its simplest form? Yes, it is, right? So that is the answer. Okay, all right, let's get ready for a few more practice before we move on to the next part of today's lesson. Okay, let's turn to page 16. All right, 16, you have 7 out of 10 plus 1 out of 5. Okay, so 10 is the bigger denominator. I'll keep that. And I'll convert the 1 of 5 into a denominator that's equivalent to 10. Okay, so 5 for 5 to become 10, you need to multiply 5 times 2. 5 times 2 equals 10. 1 times 2 equals 2. Okay, so 7 out of 10 plus 2 out of 10 equals 9 out of 10. Is this in its simplest form? Yes. So that 9 out of 10 is correct answer. Okay, can you do J on your own? Please press pause now. I'll go through the answer in a bit. All right, let's see whether your answer is correct. So we need to add by making sure that the fractions have the same denominator. All right, in this case, 3 is the smallest one. So we need to convert 3 into 12. 3 times 4 equals 12. All right, and then 1 times 4 equals 4. So 1/3 plus 5 out of 12 is the same as 4 out of 12 plus 5 out of 12 equals to 9 out of 12. Is this fraction in its simplest form? No, it is not, right? So let's simplify it. So we divide it by a common multiple. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So 3/4 or 3 out of 4 is the correct answer. Okay, we'll do a last question on this booklet. Turn to page 20. All right, and the question asks for you to add 5 out of 12 and 1 out of 4. Write your answer in the simplest form. Okay, so you're supposed to find out if Tony's answer is correct or not. Let's see what Tony did. So 5 out of 12 plus 1/4, Tony decided to convert, right, the denominator into 12 because it's a common denominator. 12 is the greatest number. Okay, so therefore you keep 5 out of 12. Let's see if we manage to convert 1 out of 4 correctly. Okay, so 1 out of 4. Okay, what you need to do is 4 times 3 equals 12. 1 times 3 equals 3. So 5 out of 12 plus 3 out of 12 is equals to 8 out of 12. So far, so good. Now, can you simplify 8 out of 12? Yes, you can. All right, how do you simplify it? So what Tony did is Tony divided 8 by 2. Okay, that gives you 4. And then 12 divided by 2, that gives you 6. And his answer is 4 out of 6. But is his answer correct? No, his answer is not correct, right? Because 4 out of 6 is not in its simplest form. Can you simplify further? 4 divided by 2 equals 2. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Right? So Tony's answer is wrong because the answer should have been 2 out of 3. Now let's work it out. Okay? Let's show Tony why he's wrong. So up until this point, Tony is still correct. Right? You get 8 out of 12. So he divided by 2 when in fact, right, you may try dividing by a bigger number. Here, I want to divide 8. 8 divided by 4. Right? So numerator divided by 4, denominator divided by 4 as well. 8 divided by 4 equals 2. 12 divided by 4 equals to 3. So 2 out of 3 is the correct answer. Okay? All right. So that's it for this booklet. Let's get ready for the next lesson. Okay, for the final part of today's lesson, we are going to do subtracting fractions. Okay, so let's look at the question. Kira ate 5/8 of a pie, and Anna ate 1 out of 4 of the same pie. How much more pie than Anna did Kira eat? Okay, write the answer in its simplest form. So let's focus on the question. The question now is about not how much pie did they eat altogether, but how much more pie than Anna did Kira eat. So what we're supposed to do, right, is then to minus what Kira ate, right, with what Anna ate. So the question is 5 out of 8 minus 1 out of 4. Now, remember early on, right, when we were doing addition, okay, we convert the denominator into common denominator. The same goes with subtracting fractions. All right, what we're doing here is we make sure that they have the same common denominator. So again, we keep 8 because 8 is a larger denominator than 4. Right? Therefore, it'll be 5 out of 8 minus, let's convert 4 into the denominator of 8. Right? What number multiplied by 4, okay, will give you 8? It's 2, right? So 2 times 4 equals 8. So you multiply the denominator by 2, you have to multiply the numerator by 2 as well. Right? So 1 times 2 equals 2. So the answer is 5 out of 8 minus 2 out of 8 equals 3 out of 8. And since this is a word problem, don't forget to write the statement. All right. Kira ate 3 out of 8 more pie than Anna. And before we go, just make sure, right, that the answer is in its simplest form. So is 3 out of 8 in its simplest form? Yes, it is, right? Because you cannot divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Okay, let's get ready for the next question. Now, here's a guided practice. I will take you through one, and then you will do the others on your own. Right? Are you ready? Okay, so subtract 7 out of 10 from 4 out of 5, right? Subtract 7 out of 10 from 4 out of 5. This means that you are doing 4 out of 5 minus 7 out of 10. You are subtracting 7 out of 10 from 4 out of 5. Okay, so what you need to do, right, is same thing, right? You need to have the same common denominator, right? You need to have the same denominator. That means that you keep 10 and you have to convert 5 into 10. So 5 times 2 equals 10. And the numerator, you need to multiply by 2 as well. So 4 times 2 equals 8. 8 minus 8 out of 10 minus 7 out of 10 equals to 1 out of 10. Is the answer in its simplest form? Yes, because it cannot be divided by the same number. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next one. And I'd like you to do B and C. Okay, so please press pause now. And I will take you through later on, right, to see if your answers are correct. Press pause now. Okay, let's take a look at this. Subtract 2/3 from 8 out of 9. So that means 8 out of 9 minus 2/3 minus 2 out of 3. Okay, we want to do this subtraction based on 9 as a denominator, right? And 9 as a common denominator, right? Because that's a larger one. So we keep 8 out of 9. And then 2/3, right? You need to convert into denominator of 9. So 3 multiplied by 3 equals 9. 2 multiplied by 3 equals 6. So the answer is 8 out of 9 minus 6 out of 9. You get 2 out of 9. Is 2 out of 9 in its simplest form? Yes, it is. Next up, subtract 1/4 from 7 out of 12. So that means you are doing 7 out of 12 minus 1/4. Okay. The common denominator that you should use will be 12, since 12 is the greater one. So you keep 7 out of 12. Now you need to convert 1 out of 4 into a fraction with denominator of 12. All right, so how do you make 4 into 12? 4 times 3 equals 12. Right, 4 times 3 equals 12. So numerator times 3 as well, that would give you 3. And what is 7 out of 12 minus 3 out of 12? That's right, it is 4 out of 12. Can you simplify? Yes, you can. Which number can you divide 4 and 12 by? You can do 2, but is it enough? No. Can you divide by 4? Yes, you can. All right. So 4 divided by 4 will give you 1. And 12 divided by 4 will give you 3. Right? So the answer is 1/3. Is it in its simplest form? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm just going to do a few examples, right, for you. This is quite easy, right? Just get you to understand how it works. If the denominator are the same, what do? You simply just subtract the numerator, just like what you did with addition, right? So 7 out of 10 minus 2 out of 10, they have the same denominator. So you just do 7 minus 2. That gives you 5 out of 10. Is the answer in its simplest form? No. So it can be divided by the same number. And in this case, it's 5. 5 divided by 5 equals 1. 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So the answer is half. Now, J is an interesting question because now you have 1 whole, right? 1 means 1 whole minus 3 out of 7. Okay? So what you need to do here is to have fractions of the same denominator. In this case, you need to convert the whole into a fraction, right? A whole, right? If you want to convert into a fraction of denominator of 7, right? It'll be 1 times 7, 1 times 7, right? Because 1 out of 1, 1 whole is 1 out of 1. Okay, so numerator times 7 equals 7. Denominator times 7 equals 7, right? Denominator times 7 equals 7. Numerator times 7 equals 7. So 1 whole is the same as 7 out of 7, right? And then you have minus 3 out of 7. 7 out of 7 minus 3 out of, oops, sorry, not 4, 7. 7 out of 7 minus 3 out of 7 equals to 4 out of 7. Okay, can you do L on your own? Please press pause now. I will show you the answer in a bit. Okay, so same thing. 1 out of 1, you want to convert it into a fraction. 1 out of 1 is the same as 8 out of 8. So 8 out of 8 minus 2 out of 8, that will give you 6 out of 8. Okay, is this the common, is this the simplest form? No, it is not, because you can divide by 2. And so the answer is 3 out of 4. Okay, did you get the answer correct? Okay, let's move on to the next practice. All right, let's turn to page 15. And I will show you how to do I, right? I'll demonstrate, and then you do J on your own. Actually, I've already done it early on, right? But just to show you again. Okay, what is 2/3 minus 5 out of 12? Right, you need to have a common denominator, right? So 3 is the smaller one, so you need to make 3 into 12. So 2/3 is the same as, let's see, denominator multiplied by 4 will give you 12. So numerator multiplied by 4 will give you 8. So 2/3 is the same as 8 out of 12. 8 out of 12 minus 5 out of 12 will give you 3 out of 12. Is the answer in its simplest form? No, it's not, right? You can divide by the amount, you can divide by the same number. So divide by 3, divide by 3. The answer is 1 out of 4. Okay, I'll let you do J on your own. Please press pause now. Okay, now let me take you through J, right, to show you and to see whether you've got the answer correct. So it's J is 3 out of 4 minus 7 out of 12. So we want to have a denominator of, common denominator of 12, right? How do you convert 3/4 into a fraction with a denominator of 12? Let's look at this. 4 times 3 equals 12. 3 times 3 equals 9. So 3/4 is the same as 9 out of 12. 9 out of 12 minus 7 out of 12 equals 2 out of 12. And obviously, right, even number, you know that this is not the simplest form. Let's divide by 2. And the answer is 1 out of 6. Okay, all right. Now we're going to move on to word problems. Let's turn to the next page. Okay, so I will demonstrate one question and you will do the other. Okay, let's look at question 4. Sarah baked a cake. She gave 1 out of 6 of the cake to a neighbor and 2/3 of her cake to her family. What fraction of the cake did Sarah give away? Okay, now for this, I would like to draw a bomb bar model, right? If you like, you can try it out together with me. Okay, so let's do this. So Sarah baked a cake. This is what the cake looks like in a bar, of course. And then she gave 1/6 away, right? So how does 1/6 look like? Gave 1/6 to a neighbor. So let's see, 1/6, that means that I need to split up into 6 parts. Okay, so she gave 1/6 away to a neighbor. Put N here. And 2/3 of a cake to her neighbor. How much is 2/3 when convert to 6 parts? Do you remember? 2/3. If you make it into 6 parts, 3 times 2 equals 6, 2 times 2 equals 4. So it's 4 out of 6, right? So this one he gives to a family. All right, and then I'll put F here. And the question is, what fraction of the cake did Sarah give away? All right, so let's think about this. Is this an addition or subtraction question? What fraction of the cake did Sarah give away? This is the giveaway, right? So I should put a question mark here. Okay, yeah, it is addition. So what you're adding is 1 out of 6 plus 2 out of 3, which is the same as 1 out of 6 plus 4 out of 6. And the answer is 5 out of 6. So Sarah gave 5 out of 6 of the cake away. Bonus question, how much cake was left? So this is A. How much cake was left? B. All right. So 1 minus 5 out of 6 equals 1 out of 6. Okay. All right. So that's a B is just a bonus question, right? I just added that in. Now, can you try doing question 5? All right. You may like to draw the bar model. Okay. If you can. If not, right, that's fine as well, right? Just do your calculation, right? First of all, read the question and decide whether it is an addition or subtraction question. You may press the pause button now. Okay, so now there are 2 parts of the question. Okay, the first part of the question is who ate more? Remember equivalent fraction, right? Where we have to compare which is more, equivalent and ordering fractions. So let's compare 3 out of 8 and 1 out of 4. Which is greater, which is smaller? So in order to do that, right, to compare, we got to make sure that they have the same common denominator. That's one way of doing it. So we're going to convert 1/4 into a fraction with denominator of 8. 4 multiplied by 2 gives you 8. 1 multiplied by 2 gives you 2. So obviously 3 out of 8 is greater than 2 out of 8. Or in other words, 3 out of 8 is greater than 1/4. Okay, so we can say that Andy ate more. Andy ate more. But how many more? How much more pizza did Andy eat compared to Barry? So that would be 3 out of 8 minus 1/4. Okay, 3 out of 8 minus, we've already done a conversion early on, right? The equivalent fraction early on. So I know that 1/4 is the same as 2 out of 8. So 3 out of 8 minus 2 out of 8, that gives you 1 out of 8. Okay, is that clear? All right, if it is clear, you may move on to do a few more practice. If not, right, please go back maybe a couple of minutes, right, and listen to the explanation again. All right, so we're going to do the last question here of the day, right? Let's turn to page 18. Carrie started painting a fence on Thursday. She painted 1/3 of the fence on Thursday. She painted more of the fence on Friday, right? And at the end of Friday, she had painted 7/12 of the fence. What fraction of the fence did Carrie paint on Friday? Now let's do a bar model, right? To do this, so Carrie started painting a fence on Thursday, right? So let me draw the entire fence first. right? This is the entire fence. Okay, and then we start to draw based on the story here. So she painted 1/3 of the fence on Thursday. So 1/3, let's split up into 3 parts. Right, this is the entire fence. So she painted 1/3 on Thursday. Okay, she painted more on the fence on Friday, and at the end on Friday, she had painted 7 out of 12 of the fence. Right, 7 out of 12 of the fence. So what does that mean? All right, so let's see, 7 out of 12, we need to split up. Right now we have 3 parts. We need to split up into 12 parts so that we know how much is 7 out of 12 parts. How do we do that? Each part, we split it up into 4 to get 12. Remember? 3, right, times 4 equals 12. Okay, just like converting the into the common denominator, right? So let's split up. So each of this unit here, we split up into 4 units so that you'll get in total 12 units. And just to make sure that there are 12, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so it says that at the end of Friday, she had painted 7 out of 12 of the fence at the end of Friday. So where is 7 out of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what the story means, right, is in it all together by end of Friday, right? 7, 12 painted. 7 out of 12. And so this is both days, Thursday plus Friday. Is that correct? Right? What fraction of friends did Carrie paint on Friday? So it will be this portion here. I'm sorry, I need to do some edit. Okay. It wasn't 7 out of 12 just now. This is 7 out of 12, right? I didn't draw it long enough. 7 out of 12 is here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so that means that this is Thursday. Sorry, this is Friday. Okay, so what fraction of fence did Carrie paint on Friday? This is the question mark, right? So how do you do this question? It's 7 out of 12 minus 1/3, which is the same as 7 out of 12 minus, it's converted, right? Same common denominator. 3 times 4 equals 12. 1 times 4 equals 4. So 7 out of 4, sorry, 7 out of 12 minus 4 out of 12 equals 2. 3 out of 12. Did you see that? Right? If you have drawn the model, you will be able to get 3 out of 12 as well. 3 out of 12 parts. Okay, 3 out of 12 parts. But is that the answer? No, it is not, right? Because you need to simplify. So how do you simplify 3 out of 12? Can 3 and 12 be divided by the same number? Yes, it can. Right? So 3 divided by 3 equals 1. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Right? So what does that mean? Carrie painted 1/4 of the fence on Friday. Okay, all right. So if you're still unclear, right, please listen to the lesson again. Right, once you are confident, you may proceed to the online platform to do your homework. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, and I hope to see you soon.